My name is Neil Pearson, and I'm a physiotherapist and yoga therapist and clinical associate professor at the University of British Columbia. And I'm so happy to be here with you again, and welcome back if you've been here for the other ones, and welcome if this is your first time with these sessions. We're going to be doing a gentle movements and some breathing and yoga practice here. We're going to be joined by two people helping us out. We have Jenny, who you'll be able to see laying down. Oh, and I forgot to we'll get to our sponsors first. We can go to our sponsors first. Sorry, confused that. All right, so we have these great sponsors. We won't be able to do this without these individuals, these organizations helping us out. And to get to right now, that helping us out is Jenny and Desmond. You'll be able to see Jenny is laying down, and she's going to be going through the movements from the laying down position. And there's Desmond. He's going to be doing the the movements from a standing position at the beginning. And I'm going to do them from a seated position. So you get to choose whichever one of us you want to follow along with. So as we go through this, please take good care of yourself. This is not about, gritting your teeth and seeing how far you can push, even though they're gentle movements. What we want you to do is, if you're feeling like any need to stop and you want to stop, go ahead and stop, pause, and come back when you feel it's the right thing to do. So you can either start in a seated position or standing or laying down. Excuse me. Take your attention to your breath. Start to slow down your breath a little bit. And see if you can let go of some of the effort of breathing. So right now you're purposefully and consciously breathing in and breathing out. You're doing it with a small amount of effort. And as you do this, you can do it with your eyes closed or your eyes open. If you are standing and your eyes closed, just make sure you're in a stable place, or you can put your hand on something if you need to. What I'd like you to do is to notice that little pause between the end of your inhale and the beginning of your exhale. And that little pause or change of direction at the end of your exhale, at the beginning of your inhale. And this can be a little bit hard to do, but just notice what's happening there. So at the end of your inhale, is there a pause before your exhale? And at the end of your exhale, is there a pause before the beginning of your inhale? And if there is a pause, just notice how long that is. So right now you're just observing what's happening. And you may notice that it's different from breath to breath. And if there's a pause, it may be different from inhale, or between inhale and exhale, and between exhale and inhale. So now what I'd like you to do is see if you have a pause there, see if you can make the pause shorter and shorter and shorter each time you breathe. So you see if you can get to the spot where as you breathe in, it's almost like your inhale naturally moves right into the exhale without a pause, or your exhale naturally moves into an inhale without a pause. Like you're trying to smooth out that transition. So as you do this, you may feel like it's almost like you're turning your breath into one thing. So rather than your breath being inhale, pause, exhale, pause, back to inhale, you inhale and that goes into an exhale, and that goes back into an inhale. And as you do this, sometimes it helps to have a visual of a circle, like your breath has now become a circle, or maybe an oval. For some people, even like an infinity or a number 8 sign. And even as you're doing this, if you start to feel like you're losing your breath and you need to catch it, just let go of the breath practice for a moment. Catch your breath again. And decide if you're ready to come on back in and join it, trying to smooth out those transitions. Now see if you can continue with that breath if it feels okay doing it as we start to move the body gently. So take your attention to your wrists and start to do wrist circles. I'm holding my hands up so you can see them, but you could have them resting down in your lap or wherever they are. Just circle your wrists around. Whichever direction you decide at the beginning, go right ahead. Stay with that. Divide your attention between the breath if you can and the feeling of movement in your wrists. And then whichever direction you chose for your wrist, go back the other way. And if it feels good to do a really big circle or to feel some stretch when you do it, go ahead and do that. Or maybe there's a sweet spot that's a smaller movement that you can do. You get to choose. Great, and then let your hands rest. Stay with that breath, smoothing out the transitions. If there still is a pause between the inhale and exhale, or exhale and inhale, that's fine. Just for now, see if you can make the pause shorter, smaller. Or maybe you can get that sense that your breath is turning into one continuous thing. Take your attention down to your ankles, and you can do exactly what you did with your wrist, but with your ankles, just decide on a direction and start to circle your ankles around. If you're standing, you're going to use one leg at a time. Divide your attention between your breath and the movement of your ankles. So see if you can feel the muscles changing and the joints changing as you move around down there. If there's any pain or tension or discomfort, don't crash on through it. See if you can find that spot where you just go to the edge. That place where it feels safe. You feel like you'll be okay later. And if you're standing, you're still working on the first ankle, shift on over to the other. And as you do these gentle movements, even thinking about trying not to get too much tension elsewhere in your body. So you can focus your attention on your breath and focus attention on your feet. And of course, knowing you can stop whenever you want to stop, you don't need to wait for me. And maybe as you finish your next exhale, you can just let that go. If you're standing, put your feet on back down again. Bring your awareness back to that breath and smoothing out those transitions again. Bend your elbows so your elbows are about 90 degrees. And then start to circle around at your elbows. So you're sort of extending and circling out and in, or maybe you're going the other way, extending and circling in and out. So just getting a circular movement going on around your elbow. Again, making sure that you're at that right spot. That you're not pushing through tension, discomfort, or pain. As you're doing this, if you start to feel tension around your shoulders, your neck, see if you can soften that. You still go in the same direction you started with, go back the other way now. And once you find that right movement, see if you can do that smoothing out the transition breath while you're doing the movement of your arms. If by chance it feels too much to do the breath and the movement at the same time, focus on the movement for now. We'll come back to the breath later. Great. And at the end of your next exhale, just let your arms rest again for a moment. Then come back to your breath. Smoothing out those transitions once again. And we're going to move to circles around the knee. Now, if you're standing, you probably want to put your hand on something and you're going to bend your hip and bring your knee up and then circle your leg around like this. If you're lying down, you probably want to bend your hip and hold on to the back of your thigh. If you're seated, hold on to the back of your thigh and then start to circle your lower leg around underneath your knee. Great. Yeah. Jenny's giving you a better view than mine of me. The idea, circling around. Great. And then let that leg back down. And then do the same thing on the other side. Great. So if you're seated or laying down, just holding onto the back of your thigh, rolling your lower leg around underneath your knee. If you can do that, smoothing out the transition breath, do that. Great. Remember, you can pause anytime you want. Feels like it's enough. If you're still moving, as you finish your next exhale, why don't you bring that leg back down again. Come back to the smoothing of the transitions breath. Trying to smoothly move from the inhale to the exhale. Smoothly move from the exhale to the inhale. And then take your attention to your shoulders. And wherever you are, draw your shoulders up towards your ears a little bit, and then pull them back a little bit. Draw them down, roll them forward, lift them back up again. You start to do a circle with your shoulder blades. And again, find the right amount of movements and find the right effort with this. Maybe today's a day where you feel like just a little bit of effort, a little movement is the right thing to do. Or maybe today's a day when you really want to push and take them up really high and pull them back really far and draw them down. Whatever feels the best for you today. And as you're doing the circle movement with your shoulders, if you can come back to that, smoothing out the transition breath. Now you can stay with this direction if you want, or if you want to try the other direction, go ahead. You can still feel your breath. Finding that just right effort. Another movement that you know you'll be okay with. And as you finish your next exhale, let your shoulders relax again. Now the next movement will be doing a bit of a circle with your hip. So if you're laying down or seated, draw your knee up towards your belly and chest and then take it out to the side. And then circle it back down and back around. Great. So Jenny, I see you're using both legs. That's awesome. So you can do both legs or one. Desmond, if you're standing, probably best to put your hand on something or you've got good balance, so you're good. Awesome. Either way, you're drawing your knee up, rolling it out to the side, and rolling it back down towards the center and around again. Great. So you can use your hands to support you. You can do it just with the muscles of your leg and hip. Find that just right amount of effort. Keep your breath flowing as you're doing it. And then if you're seated or standing, move on to the other leg. Same idea, you lift the knee up, roll it out, bring it back into the center, lift it back up again, roll it on out to the side. Wonderful. Remember, you can stop anytime you want to. If you're feeling like it's not going to be okay later, pause. Even if you can't keep your breath flowing or your body's getting tight, maybe pause for a moment to regroup and then come on back. Great. And then let your leg come on back down again. Come back to the breath. Let your inhale smoothly transition into the exhale. Let your exhale smoothly transition back into the inhale. Now, if you are seated or standing, take your arms straight out in front of you. If you're laying down, your arms are going to be reaching up towards the sky. And then start to circle your arms around at the shoulder. So your elbows and wrists stay sort of straight. And you're just circling your arms around, whichever direction you want. You can do big circles if that would feel good today. You can do little circles. You can do a couple circles and then pause and let your shoulders relax if you want. See if you can come back to that, smoothing out the transition breath again here. And as you finish your next exhale, just let your arms come down for a moment. Give your shoulders a little bit of a shift around. Maybe give your neck and back a bit of a shift around. Because you're going to do this a similar thing with your arms again. You're just going to do the opposite circle. So bring your arms back to where they were before and circle them the other way, whichever way you did before. Go back the other way. And you can do this way or backwards. Great. Whichever way you're circling our arms around, do the right amount of movement for you today. Maybe it's big, or maybe it's small. Keep your breath flowing. Keep the tension in your body low. And as you finish your next exhales, let your arms back down again. Feel your inhale smoothly transitioning into the exhale. Feel your exhale smoothly transitioning into the inhale. Now, if you're seated or standing, start to roll your lower back a little bit to the side and then bring it to the front and then bring it to the other side. And if you're laying down, I think what you'll need to do is bend your knees and hold onto your knees and thighs with your legs and start to roll your knees around underneath your lower back and pelvis. Great. Keep your breath smooth. Keep the effort just right for you for today. And whenever you feel ready, you're going to pause in the movement and go back around the other direction. Knowing, of course, you can stop anytime you want to. You don't have to wait until you need to. You can just say, that's enough for right now. Great. And then when you come back to the center again next time, just pause there. Let your legs down if you're laying down. If you need to shift anything around, your neck or shoulders or arms or hips, do that. And we're going to move into doing just simple neck circles. So if you're laying down, you're just going to bring your chin towards your chest and then let your look over towards the side and then back to the center, over towards the side. Same thing if you're seated or standing. Your chin comes down towards your chest now. Look a little bit over towards the shoulder, back towards the center and the other side. Now, if your neck is okay with you looking really far down, or if your neck is okay with you looking up as you come across, go ahead and do that. Be in that place where you know you feel safe. Place where you know you'll be okay later. Finding that just right spot for you today. Spot a lot of people call that sweet spot. You are still moving the same direction you started at the beginning. Pause and roll back the other way. Noticing what's happening with your breath and what's happening with body tension. Trying to keep your breath smooth. Doing your best to keep your body tension from increasing. Knowing you can stop anytime that your breath gets tight or your body gets tight. So as you finish your next exhale or come on back in towards the center, just pause there again. Feel your inhale smoothly moving into the exhale. Feel your exhale smoothly moving into the inhale. And from here, what I'm going to ask everyone to do is to come on down onto your back if you can. If staying in a chair is what you need to do or what's best for you today, we can do that as well. If you are okay laying down on your back, come on down on your back. If you're seated in a chair, what I'd like you to do is to sit towards the edge of the chair, if that's okay. Get your spine a little bit tall, let your shoulders relax. Whether you're laying down or seated, let your shoulders relax and let your face relax a little bit. Now, if you're laying down, what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you're okay with it, is to have your legs straight. If you do have your knees bent, then have your feet and your knees apart from each other. Now, wherever you are, what I'd like you to do right now is to roll your feet in towards each other so you can feel that your big toes just touch as you roll your legs in. So if you're seated, same thing. And then roll your feet back out a little bit. And then roll them back in again so that your big toes touch. Great. And then let your legs relax from them. Bring your attention back to your breath. Make it a bit longer. Make it a bit smoother. Make it a bit softer. When you breathe in next time, roll your legs in, your knees and feet in until your toes just touch. And when you breathe out, roll your legs back out again. And when you breathe in, roll your legs in. When you breathe out, roll your legs out. Continue with this movement. So you can feel some effort of moving your legs, but don't make it too much effort. You can feel the movement at your hips and through your legs and at your ankles and feet. And as much as you're feeling your legs roll in as you breathe in, you're feeling your breath coming in. And as you feel your legs going out, you're feeling your breath releasing out. If you're laying down, have your arms just resting on the floor beside you. If you're seated, let your arms hang down. Now, next time you breathe in and roll your legs in, I'd like you to roll your arms the opposite way out. Right. And when you breathe out, you're going to roll your arms in and your legs out. So breathe in, legs go in, arms go out. Breathe out, legs go out, arms go in. And just do that movement a few more times. Smooth out your breath, smooth out the movement. Now, this feels like an okay place to stay. Stay with this. Or remember, you can pause anytime you'd like. You want to add one more little challenge to this. When you roll your legs in, you're going to turn your head towards the right a little bit. And when you roll your legs out, you're going to turn your head towards the left a little bit. And this is going to feel a whole lot like rubbing your belly and patting your head. See if you can find a way to smooth this out. So legs go in, arms go out, head to the right. Legs go out, arms go in, head to the left. Now, if it's feeling like a big challenge, what you can do is pause, regroup, start back with your legs, then add back in your arms, then add back in your neck. So breathe in, legs go in, arms go out, head to the right. Breathe out, legs go out, arms go in, head to the left. When you finished your next exhale, just pause right there. Bring your head back to the neutral and then just pause right there. check in with how you're doing. How's your breath? How's your body? If you have any tension, discomfort, or pain, what's happening there? And what's happening in your mind? As you inhale, feel your breath smoothly transitioning into the exhale. As you exhale, feel your breath smoothly transitioning into the inhale. Imagine your breath moving in a circle, or a figure eight, or an oval, or an infinity sign. If by chance as you do that, you feel your eyes following around in circles, let them rest. Let that circle be with your breath. Just check in for a moment and notice if there's any part of your body that would like a little bit of movement. Maybe there's a spot that feels like it needs a little stretch or a little shift. Or maybe you're great exactly where you are. Do your best to let go of that breath pattern now. Take your mind to that place where you can observe, where there's no need to change your breath, no need to move your body or change the position of your body. There's no need to think about things. You can just watch your inhale, watch your exhale. Watch the sensations of your body rising, drifting away. Watching thoughts come up, and then watching them drift away as well. Over the next few minutes, rest. Rest your mind, rest your breath, rest your body. Start to bring more energy back into your breath now. Breathing in just a bit more. Starting to move your body more as well, moving your toes and fingers, and arms and legs. Move your eyes and neck. If it would feel good to have a stretch, go ahead and have a stretch. And if it would feel good, draw your knees on up towards your chest and do the best cannonball position ever. Go ahead and do that. And now if you have time to stay and rest and stretch a little bit, go ahead and do that. If it's time to start to get back up again, roll over on your side, and maybe take a breath there before you sit back up again. So thanks for coming and sharing with us relaxation and gentle movements. hope to see you all again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.